We get so caught up living our everyday lives that we forget that there are sights and sounds and things beyond our imagination. And that's what I want to focus on today, 2-Minute Truths. You know, I grew up in the country, out in farmland in southern Illinois, and to be honest with you, I never expected to really leave there. Maybe that's why years ago when I got the opportunity to stand in front of Buckingham Palace or stand in front of the Palace of Versailles, maybe that's why I was so awestruck and amazed, because I just could not have fathomed it. This has something to do with 1 Kings 5, 6, and 7. Because to be honest with you, when we read those 3 chapters, most of us don't read them. We skim over them or we skip over them because they're just full of measurements and details about the building of the temple. But to the reader of that day, they would have read them with minds blown because they would not have been able to imagine how wonderful it was. They were country people, shepherds and farmers. They hadn't seen anything like that. And maybe those 3 chapters there are to remind you and I that even when we think we've seen a lot, there are things for a follower of Christ that they cannot even imagine. There are things coming. Solomon talked about the temple and the Holy of Holies where the presence of God dwelled, and he measured out as kind of a cube. But Revelation tells us when the city of God comes to dwell on earth, his presence will be there, and the dimensions it gives us are somewhat like a cube also. It's just mind-blowing. So all of this is to say, this week, when you kind of find yourself bogged down in the mundane aspects of living here on earth, remember there are sights and sounds coming to you and I as followers of Christ that are beyond our imagination. So this week, focus on beyond your imagination. And I'll see you next week.